But while the allure of the unknown is strong, so are the risks. Exploring restricted spaces can lead to legal trouble, injury, or worse. That's why urban explorers follow strict codes of conduct, emphasizing the importance of not damaging, stealing, or disturbing what they find. Take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, is more than just a motto, it's a rule that separates ethical explorers from vandals. Understanding the safety and legal implications of urbex is crucial, especially as social media popularizes a world that was once underground, both figuratively and literally. This video will take you deep into the realm of urban exploration, how it started, where it's going, and the breathtaking places people have uncovered along the way. We'll also break down the safety protocols seasoned explorers use, the tools they carry, and the subtle art of avoiding danger while respecting the law. Whether you're a curious newcomer or someone who's only seen this world through YouTube thumbnails, you're about to enter a space where history, adventure, and caution all collide. Origins of urban exploration. Urban exploration didn't start with Instagram. It has roots going back to the 70s and 80s, when photographers, graffiti artists, and underground historians began documenting the neglected corners of major cities. One of the most famous early examples comes from the Paris catacombs, where a group known as Les UX secretly mapped and restored forgotten parts of the tunnels beneath the city. Their mission wasn't to destroy, but to uncover and preserve. This idea of reclaiming the overlooked parts of our urban landscape helped solidify urbex as a movement with depth, not just thrill-seeking. In the US, the movement picked up speed in cities like Detroit, where widespread urban decay left entire neighborhoods abandoned. Explorers documented the ruins of factories, schools, and churches, many of which had remained untouched since the economic collapse of the auto industry. This created a visual and emotional file of a city's decline, which paradoxically gave those spaces new cultural relevance. Detroit became a sort of mecca for urban explorers, drawing photographers and videographers from all over the world. A crucial aspect of urbex's growth has been the internet. Forums like 28 Days Later, UER, Urban Exploration Resource, and later YouTube and Reddit, became hubs for sharing locations, photos, and safety tips. These platforms allowed the community to grow while also sparking debates about gatekeeping and responsible disclosure. Sharing too much could ruin a site, drawing vandals or law enforcement. Sharing too little could mean the space is eventually lost to decay or demolition. Despite its underground nature, urban exploration has gradually found its way into pop culture. Documentaries, feeds, and even Hollywood films like As Above, So Below have romanticized the hidden world beneath our feet. But with visibility comes risk, and as we'll explore in the next section, not everyone entering this world does so with the right intentions or awareness of the consequences. Ethics and the take nothing rule. Urban exploration operates under a code of ethics that's essential to maintaining its legitimacy and respectability. At the heart of that code is the phrase, "Take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints." This guiding principle ensures that explorers act more like historians than intruders. It's not just about avoiding vandalism, it's about preserve these places for others to see and for their stories to remain intact. A rusted control panel, an untouched hospital gurney, or a moldy piano left in a school gym, these objects lose their meaning once removed from context. This code has become even more critical as urbex gains visibility online. With the rise of influencers and content creators entering the scene, the pressure to make it exciting has sometimes led to breaches of etiquette. There are documented cases of explorers removing items, tagging walls, or broadcasting sensitive location details. These actions not only damage the location but also risk alerting property owners or authorities, leading to closures or increased security that prevent future access. Seasoned explorers often act as gatekeepers, ensuring that newcomers understand the ethics before they're allowed access to trusted information. Many experienced urbexers won't reveal exact coordinates of locations unless they trust the person asking. This isn't about being exclusive, it's about preserving the spaces. Once a site becomes viral, its lifespan is drastically shortened, either through vandalism, theft, or demolition. Ultimately, urbex isn't about conquering a space, but about documenting a hidden chapter of urban history. Ethical exploration respects the past, acknowledges the legal gray zones, and ensures that the legacy of forgotten places isn't tarnished by careless behavior. As the urbex community continues to grow, keeping these ethics alive is essential for its survival. Tools of the trade: urban explorers rely on more than courage and curiosity. A well-prepared urbexer carries a specific toolkit designed to ensure safety, discretion, and efficiency. One of the most essential tools is a high-lumen flashlight or headlamp, often paired with backup batteries. Many of these locations, abandoned buildings, tunnels, rooftops, have no electricity, and getting caught in total darkness can be dangerous or even deadly. Good lighting helps avoid structural hazards like holes in the floor, broken staircases, or unstable ceilings. In addition to lighting, many explorers carry masks, often N95 or respirators, to protect against mold, asbestos, or airborne toxins that are common in decaying structures. Steel-toe boots with strong grip are another staple, providing both protection and traction. Gloves, knee pads, and thick clothing help navigate tight or sharp spaces without injury. A first aid kit is a must, as well as a charged phone with offline maps or GPS tracking in case of emergencies. Camera gear is also central to the experience. Many urban explorers are amateur or professional photographers, drawn to the eerie beauty of decay. DSLR cameras, drones, and action cams help document spaces in ways that can later be shared without compromising their locations. Some even use tripods and long exposure techniques to capture low-light scenes in stunning detail. However, stealth is often key, so many opt for compact gear that doesn't rattle or make noise. Interestingly, some explorers also carry historical documents, blueprints, or old maps to better understand the architecture and navigate complex structures. These materials can reveal hidden rooms, emergency exits, or even forgotten underground tunnels. This combination of research and preparedness separates the casual thrill seeker from the dedicated urbexer. Safety isn't just recommended, it's a core skill set. Legality and trespassing risk. One of the most controversial aspects of urban exploration is its legality, or lack thereof. Most urbex takes place on private or government property, which means that entering without permission technically qualifies as trespassing. In many countries, this is considered a misdemeanor, but the consequences can range from warnings and fines to arrests, depending on the local laws and the discretion of law enforcement. The legal ambiguity adds tension to every exploration. Despite these risks, many urban explorers view their actions as a form of civil disobedience, or at least a gray area driven by curiosity rather than malice. Still, it's essential to understand the laws specific to each location. Some sites, especially government facilities, military bunkers, or subway systems, are classified as high security and can carry serious penalties for unauthorized access. In the US, for example, exploring old Cold War bunkers could invoke federal trespassing charges. Some explorers try to mitigate risk by practicing what's known as infiltration, which means entering a site without causing damage or alerting security. Others seek out locations that are technically open or have ambiguous ownership. There's also a growing trend of gaining permission from property owners, particularly for photographers or filmmakers. While not as thrilling as a stealth mission, it provides legal cover and allows more time to explore thoroughly. A few municipalities have begun to offer legal urbex experiences through guided tours of historic, abandoned places. Locations like Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia or the Packard plant in Detroit have found ways to monetize exploration while ensuring visitor safety. However, these are the exception, not the rule. For most urban explorers, understanding and managing legal risk is part of the craft. Famous urbex locations around the world. Some locations have become legendary within the urbex community. Sites so iconic they're whispered about in online forums and shared in encrypted location lists. One such place is Hashima Island in Japan, also known as Battleship Island. Once a coal mining facility, it was abandoned in the 1970s and remains a ghostly shell of high-rise apartments, rusting cranes, and machinery frozen in time. It gained worldwide attention when it was featured in the James Bond film Skyfall. Another iconic site is Pripyat, Ukraine, the abandoned city near the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. Though it's now monitored and partially open to guided tours, many early urban explorers ventured into the radioactive zone illegally to capture haunting images of deserted amusement parks, classrooms, and hospitals. The surreal silence of the city, untouched since 1986, continues to fascinate explorers and documentarians alike. Closer to the US, Detroit's Michigan Central Station and the Packard automotive plant have been staples of the urbex scene for decades. These colossal, decaying structures are rich with industrial history and post-apocalyptic visuals. In Europe, places like the Belitz Heilstatten Hospital in Germany or the Monsell Sea Forts off the UK coast provide equally cinematic, eerie experiences. These famous spots often act as initiation points for new explorers, but their notoriety also makes them more dangerous due to increased security and vandalism. Veterans often caution newcomers to avoid overexposed locations in favor of lesser-known gems. Part of urbex's charm lies in the discovery, the act of uncovering a place most people have forgotten, and that only a few have dared to enter. Draining, tunnels, and underground adventure. One subculture within urbex that deserves special attention is draining, the exploration of storm drains, utility tunnels, and abandoned sewer systems. These dark, damp, and often maze-like environments offer a unique type of exploration. Drainers are drawn to the surreal architecture, graffiti-covered walls, and the soundscape of rushing water deep beneath the city. In places like Melbourne, London, and Montreal, entire communities have formed around this underground pursuit, mapping networks that most city residents don't even know exist. Draining presents its own unique hazards. Sudden rain can cause flash flooding, trapping explorers in tight spaces with no escape. For that reason, seasoned drainers always check the weather and follow the "when it rains, no drains" rule, a simple mantra that has likely saved many lives. Protective gear, ropes, and detailed maps are also essential, as some tunnels extend for miles and can lead to disorientation or even collapse. Safety in numbers is crucial, with most drainers exploring in small, experienced groups. Legally, draining exists in a particularly sensitive gray area. While it's often less visible than entering abandoned buildings, accessing public utility infrastructure can lead to more serious legal consequences due to potential interference with city operations. In some cases, drainers have been mistaken for terrorists or saboteurs, leading to arrests and investigations. As a result, many underground explorers operate with extreme discretion and rarely share details publicly. Despite the danger, draining offers a view of the city from an entirely different perspective, one where silence replaces sirens, and history seeps through concrete walls. It's an intimate form of urban exploration that combines risk with reward in a world most people never see, even though it lies just beneath their feet. Rooftopping and vertical exploration. On the opposite end of the urbex spectrum lies rooftopping, a practice that involves scaling high-rise buildings, cranes, and construction sites for panoramic views and vertigo-inducing photos. This branch of urban exploration is visually stunning but undeniably controversial, especially due to the social media trend of dangling from ledges or performing stunts without safety gear. While some see it as an art form, others criticize it as reckless and irresponsible. The allure of rooftopping lies in the feeling of reclaiming the skyline. Explorers often describe it as the closest thing to flying, with cities sprawling beneath them in silence. Iconic rooftopping spots include Shanghai's skyscrapers, New York's abandoned towers, and Moscow's infamous Mercury City Tower. The visuals are dramatic, sunsets above the clouds, city lights blinking far below, but the danger is real, and there have been multiple fatal accidents. Because it often involves climbing active buildings or bypassing security, rooftopping tends to be illegal in most cases. Arrests can lead to charges like trespassing, breaking and entering, or endangering public safety. Moreover, high-profile accidents have led to increased security and media scrutiny, putting pressure on both the urbex and photography communities to distance themselves from the more extreme side of this practice. Nonetheless, some rooftoppers argue that their work challenges how we interact with urban space, questioning who owns the view and why access to certain vantage points is restricted. When done responsibly, with safety gear, planning, and respect for property, rooftopping can be a powerful statement about urban freedom. Still, the line between art and endangerment is razor thin, and those who walk it must do so carefully, often hundreds of feet above the ground. Technology and urbex. In the digital age, modern technology has reshaped urban exploration in both empowering and challenging ways. On one hand, tools like satellite maps, location tagging, and image metadata make it easier to discover and navigate to potential exploration sites. Drones allow explorers to scout locations from the air before setting foot on the ground. On the other hand, this same technology makes it harder to keep locations secret, putting delicate spots at risk of exposure and destruction. Social media plays a dual role. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube have popularized urbex, drawing millions of views to videos showing abandoned malls, empty mental hospitals, or forgotten amusement parks. While this has brought new energy and interest to the community, it's also led to an influx of people who may not understand, or care about, the ethics and risks involved. Viral videos often encourage copycats, some of whom enter sites unprepared or damage them for clout. AI and augmented reality are also starting to intersect with urbex in surprising ways. Some developers are using AI to reconstruct 3D models of decaying buildings from explorers' photos, preserving them digitally even after demolition. Others are experimenting with AR layers that let you view historical images or architectural overlays while inside an abandoned space, creating a fusion of past and present in real time. Still, as urbex becomes more digitized, the community continues to stress the importance of analog skills, reading physical maps, relying on instinct, and knowing how to move silently through a crumbling hallway. Technology can enhance the experience, but it can't replace the raw human element that makes urban exploration so captivating. The balance between innovation and tradition remains delicate. Urbex and storytelling. One of the most powerful aspects of urban exploration is its storytelling potential. Every broken window, peeling wall, and dusty journal tells a story frozen in time. Urban explorers often become accidental historians, piecing together narratives from the objects and architecture they encounter. A child's shoe in an abandoned orphanage. Old X-rays left behind in a hospital. These fragments invite viewers to imagine what once happened there, giving voice to the forgotten. The documentation of these spaces, through blogs, photos, films, and podcasts, has created a new genre of urban storytelling. Channels like The Proper People, Bright Sun Films, and Exploring with Josh have millions of subscribers, each contributing to a growing digital archive of lost places. These stories offer more than just visual intrigue. They provoke questions about urban decay, memory, and the way cities discard their past. This narrative angle is particularly effective at drawing in audiences who might not otherwise care about infrastructure or urban history. When done well, it creates empathy, not just for the people who once lived or worked in these spaces, but for the buildings themselves, treated as characters in a story. The silence of a room can be louder than words if framed correctly. What separates good urbex storytelling from clickbait is intention. Are you showing a place because it's shocking, or because it has meaning? The best explorers take time to research a location's history, verify their facts, and present their findings with care. They become stewards of forgotten stories, not just tourists with a camera. Preservation, ethics, and the future of urbex. As urban exploration grows in popularity, questions about preservation and ethics have become more urgent. Explorers often walk a fine line between admiration and intrusion. While many adhere to the principle of take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, not all participants show the same respect. Unfortunately, some locations have been destroyed by graffiti, vandalism, or theft after being featured online. This raises a critical debate within the community. Should certain sites remain secret to protect them from harm? Ethical explorers understand that every location is part of someone's story, whether it's a forgotten family home or a long-shuttered asylum. The damage caused by careless intrusions can ruin years of natural decay and erase history. As a result, many responsible explorers avoid geotagging, blur identifying features in their media, or delay posting about a site until it's no longer accessible. This culture of discretion is essential for maintaining the integrity of urban exploration and avoiding the cycle of discovery and destruction. Legal reform is another area of growing interest. Some advocates argue for exploration rights, in the same vein as freedom to roam laws in certain European countries. They envision a future where derelict public buildings can be safely accessed under specific conditions for education, photography, or preservation. Others push for partnerships with city councils and historical societies to legally document and archive endangered structures. While still rare, a few cities have started to embrace this idea by inviting artists and photographers into buildings slated for demolition. Ultimately, the future of urbex will depend on the balance between curiosity and care. Technology may change how we explore, and laws may evolve to reflect shifting attitudes, but the heart of urban exploration will always rest in the act of seeing, really seeing, the forgotten corners of civilization. Whether it's the echo of footsteps in an empty factory or the creak of a rusted door in a place long abandoned, urbex offers a connection to the past that few other experiences can match. In this hidden world, explorers are not just thrill seekers. They are documentarians, preservationists, and sometimes, accidental archivists of our fading urban memory. Urban exploration is more than just sneaking into forgotten buildings or snapping moody photographs. It's a cultural phenomenon that taps into our collective nostalgia, curiosity, and hunger for authenticity. It brings to life the architecture and artifacts that time tried to erase, turning decay into beauty and silence into story. From rusting hospitals to towering rooftops, every location offers a doorway into a narrative that was never meant to be retold. And in doing so, urbex reclaims the abandoned and breathes new meaning into the ruins we leave behind. But with that power comes responsibility. As we've seen, urban exploration walks a precarious line between wonder and recklessness. Safety risks, legal consequences, and ethical concerns are not abstract ideas. They are real-world issues that affect both explorers and the places they visit. Understanding this balance is crucial for anyone drawn to this underground world. It's not about chasing likes or viral fame, it's about respecting history, preserving it, and moving through these spaces with intention and care. The hidden world of urban exploration continues to evolve, shaped by technology, law, and the people who dedicate themselves to uncovering what lies behind locked doors and boarded-up windows. For those who approach it with reverence, curiosity, and a deep respect for the past, urbex can be one of the most profound and transformative journeys through the modern cityscape. Because sometimes, the most meaningful discoveries aren't in plain sight. They're waiting in the shadows, just beyond the threshold, ready to be seen.